Hi friends, welcome to Tutors Funny channel. In our last class we saw the things of issue book part. In this class I am going to teach the things of return book part, right? Now let's go to the project. Now this is the project, I have opened it. Now I am going to go to the SQL server. I am going to create the database table. So select the table, right click, new table. Here I am going to create the table as return book table. So ID, you have to specify the ID here, int. We have to set the primary key and with auto increment select identity specification, yes, this one, yes, and second one is member ID. So you write mem ID, we needed MID, right, MID here need here, this one should be the int. After that we have to write book name, you have to write book name, watch. After that we have to write return date, this one should be the date, day elapsed, so you have to write just elapsed only, that days elapsed, int. Here also fine. If you are not hand over the book on time, each day we have each day fine should be calculated, right? Elapsed day, based on the elapsed days, fine calculated, right? So after done the stuff, click save button. You have to write here is return book, the table name return book, right? Click OK. Let's refresh the table. Right click, refresh. This is a table you have created, right? It's a table, right? Return book, right? Now what I am going to do is here, go back to my project. I am going to go to the inside the model EDMX, double click on this one, model EDMX, right? Here I am going to attach the same table here, right? So right click, update model from the database. This is a new one you have created. Click on this one, click finish. Right, it's added successfully. Now let's rebuild solution. Right, now it built successfully. Now what I am going to do is here, after done the model, I am going to go to the controller part, right? So select the folder controller. I am going to create a model, controller, which controller name is return book controller, right? So right click, add controller. Here select empty one, MBC controller empty. Click add. Here I am going to name the controller as return controller. So you have to start the letter as return or return like this, return book, right? You have to write like this, okay? This is how you have to write the controller. Starting letter should be capital, right? Okay, now click add. Now your controller has been created successfully here, right? Your controller, return controller as a action method index. Now here what I am going to select the action method index, right click, I am going to create the view, add view, add, that's it, right? Now your view has been created successfully. Now let's remove this one. I am going to write this thing is here. I am going to design the form. So what I am going to do is here, we no need to design again by again, we already designed in the, go to the issue book, this is issue book view, this is issue book view. Inside the view, this is the folder issue book view. Double click on this index CSHTML. Here this one you have to copy. Control C to copy all the stuff. Control V to here. Control go back to here the return book. Here Control V to paste here. Right. Okay. All the stuff you have to paste it here. Now we have to change the stuff. This one should be return book. You have to change this return book. You have to write the controller name. Here controller name you have to write what is the controller you have created here. Here what is the name you have given here, return book, the same name you have to write otherwise it won't save in the database table. Okay, you have to write, you have to make sure the name whether it is correct or not, right? You have to check, double check on this one, right? This is a must one. Okay, now this is a save action method I am going to create later on. Here the heading I am going to change this one as a instead of issue book I am going to change this one as a return book. Here member ID is the same, where here member ID, when you enter the member ID, here also relevant book should be displayed, right? Relevant book, all the stuff should be displayed, return all the stuff. This one should be MID. What is the name? Database you are given MID here, right? The same thing you have to write here, MID, right? When you are save the record, the same field name should be here. Okay, if you are given different one, it won't save, right? You make sure that one. After the second one, I am going to change this one as a book. What is a book? Okay, member book. If you type the member ID, relevant book should be displayed. So here also book, we also, what is the name you have to save here? Book, right? You have to write book. This one also book. ID book, Control C to copy, name also book, right? Third one is a return date. This one should be the must. Return date. Okay, return date. This one, what is the you have given? Return date. The same thing, Control C to copy. You have to paste it here. It's very easy stuff. This one also Control V to paste here, right? So return book or date. This one also book. Placeholder, you have to write book, right? After that, after the return date, after that we have to date day elapsed. So you have to days elapsed. Here, what is the name you have given here? Elapsed. Control C to copy. Back to your project. Elapsed. Okay, this one also elapsed. The thing you have to write. Okay, this is the thing you have to write. After that, what I am going to do is here return date. So return date, what I am going to do, elapsed days. After that, you have to write a fine. You have to fine calculation. You have to write fine. Here also fine. This one also fine. You have to write the fine calculation. Right. Perfect. Right. Now here there will be the save buttons are there. Right. Save button. Right. So all the fields names are correctly. All the stuff. Right. Return book, save action. Right. Perfect. Right. Now what I am going to do is here, I am going to do the second stuff. We have to check whether it's working fine or not. We have to go to the shared layout.css. Here we need to give the link. Control C to copy, Control V to paste below. Here we have to give, this one should be the return book. This name is return book. The same thing, Control C to copy, Control V to paste here. Okay, when you click on the return book link, it goes to the action method index, right? Return book index method, right? So it show the view of the return book, right? So let's check whether it's working fine or not. Okay, now let's go here. Right, now let's check. Now here return book, click on this return book here. Simply you have to form design successfully. Return book, here we have to change this one as a date. Here all the stuff are successfully, right? Now let's check elapsed days, all the stuff we have to make this one, all the stuff you have to change the stuff here. Return date, we have to change this one as a text, not a date field, text. Okay, this one also Control C to copy. The same thing. Sorry, this is not a return part. Here back as the return control, return this one. Okay, here the fine also control text, this one also text, change on this one also return date, this one also text, not this one. You have to this one change, this one Control C to copy, Control this one also to text, return date, right here return date, you write return date, same thing you have to Control C to copy, Control V to paste here. Perfect. All the things are perfect. Right, now let's do the JavaScript part. Right, here we have to make the validation for that. Right, we have to make the validation, so we have to do the stuff here. So here what I am going to do is, first stuff we have to write we have to this all the stuff we no need that, we have to remove it, only we need this one only. Function is started, we have to close it. Now here the same thing, it goes to when the member id, this text box name is this mid. When you enter the member id, we have to do the things, right? Relevant book name should display on the text box. After that, return date should be displayed on the text box, and calculate the elapsed days. If the person hand over the one time, elapsed day should be 0, right? Fine calculated should be 0. If the person not hand over on time, the fine should be calculated. How many days he has that book, right? It's calculated from the return date, right? Fine should be calculated. So its calculation should be, we have to pass into the relevant text box, elapsed and fines, right? So based on the day elapsed, right? So here we have to do the thing is, it goes to check the things, right? So here you have to write the controller return book. This one should be the id, this one should be the, we have to return book, you have to write here is a get, you have to write here, we have to write here is return book, you have to write get, you have to write get mid, right? The same thing you have to write get mid or get mid, the same thing you have to write here. This one should be the right, same thing, right? The same function we have to calculate it there, but the id we have to enter here, right? It goes to this page, return this page we have to go, right? So here the relevant details should be displayed below. So we will do the stuff later. Now what I am going to do is here, go to the return, get book we don't need, only this one only, right? So we have to go to the return book controller. So here we have to create the action method, right? Sorry, you have to create the action method here. That's a get mid action method. You have to create get mid, right? So control C to copy, control V to paste here, right? So make sure the method is post. This one should be the post. We are posting the data to return book controller get mid action method. So here we have to write, we have to paste it here. This one we have to change it as a get mid. You have to make sure whether it's correct or not. The same thing, control C to copy, control V to paste here, right? You have to change rename as this one. Right. Here we have to write getting the id. So we have to write getting the id. You have to getting the id as here int. This one should be the what is id variable you are passing. This is the id mid. Control C to copy, paste it here mid, right? This is the thing, right? Now here what I am going to do is here, you have to write here simply the database DB connection. First DB connection, we have to write the same DB connection. Where's the issue book? Sorry, issue book controller. Where's the issue book controller? Like the same method. We have the same DB. Control C to copy. Back here, you have to paste it. Right. This is the first thing you have to do. Right. You have to using the model. This one. Add the model. Right. Now after that, what I am going to do is you have to write here. You have to write here after that var. You have to create the var. You have to write this one should be the id member id mid. You have to create the variable member id like this equal. You have to write. You have to test it from is in which table I am going to check the this table, right? DB dot issue book table, issue books table you have to check where issue books table. You have to write test. We have to write here where, write the where close, where here we have to write the number, right? So you have to write s dot you have to write member id member id, right? You have to write a member id equal this member id. What's the member id you are getting here, right? You have double equal mid, right? Issue book member id, right? Return. Right. Now what I am going to do is you have to write here is a select new. You have to write select new You have to select new. You have to write open and close bracket. Now here we have to write first one. You have to write the stuff is first start date. So write start date equal. You have to write s dot. You have to write s dot. You have to write issue date. This one should be issue date or start date. You have to, if you want to write your issue date, it is possible. You have to write issue date, right? Issue date, right? Very simple, right? Issue date, right? So after that, return date equal s dot return date. Right. After that, we have to write this one member ID equal s dot mid. Right. After that, we have to write member ID. We have to write another thing is we have to calculate this issue book table to show the member ID. Member ID you have to write here is issue table, right? So member ID, return date, book ID. Book ID here also need. Now here we have to write here book name equal s dot here this one book ID, right? This one, okay. Here is okay. This is the thing we have to write. Okay. Now what I am going to do is here we have to write here is a. Now here you have to calculate the elapsed days. You have to write here comma. You have to write elapsed days equal. You have to write SQL functions dot functions. You have to write here is you have to write like this dot dative. You have to write here day comma s dot e date. We have to write s dot first one should be the return date. You have to write return date dative. You have to this one should be the return date comma date time dot now. Right, that's it, the thing we have to write, right? Finally you have to write these two stuff. You have to control X to cut off, control V to paste here. This one you have to dot to array. We have to send this one to array, right? Array, right. That's the thing you have to write. Finally you have to sending to the JSON format these things. So you have to write the JSON format like this here is. You have to write here return V. You have to write JSON. You have to write this passing this member ID, control C to copy, control V to paste here, comma JSON request behavior dot allocate. That's it. That's the thing you have to write. Perfect, right? Now what I am going to do is say MID back here, MID, right? Now here what I am going to do is we have to make the calculation part, right? So you have to write here. Now here if I enter the correct member ID, relevant book should be displayed. So you have to control C to copy. You have to write here is you have the same thing. You have to this one copy. You have to solve stuff. Control V to paste here. This one should be the book. You have to write well. You have to write here is data. We have to write the array format. Right here dot. First one should be that we have to get the book. So what is your given here? The same thing. Book name. Control C to copy. Control V to paste here. Right. Book name on the text box. After that, we have to check whether the data is coming or not. First, we have to check console dot log data whether it's working fine or not. Member ID. We have to have some member ID one. This I have here, it's coming successfully here, it's working perfectly. this book is working perfectly here, it's coming successfully, no problem. Now let's back here, right, it's working perfectly. Now we will do the another part, modifications, right. So we have to, the second one should be the date. So here the same thing, you have to get the date, Control C to copy, Control V to paste here. This one should be the date. Date means return date. Control C to copy, Control V to paste here. Here we have to make the calculation part. Dot. Here we have to get the date in into jQuery. You have to write the format look like this. New date. Date. You have to write a pass int. You have to write here data. You have to write here 0. You have dot. You have to write this one should be the return date. Return date you have to write here, this return date, same thing. The return date you have to write return date. Control C to copy, return date. You have to write the return date dot sub str 6. You have to write 6. You have to write here dot to local date string, to locally date string. You have to write like this. Okay, right here. Okay, you have to write like this. Okay, now this is the thing you have to write. We have to check the return date successfully or not. Okay, it's successfully display. Successfully, this is return date. Okay, here return date here. So return date is successfully displayed. This is the return date here. Does return the book. If the book is written on time, is no fine should be calculated. So you have to make the validation part here. That is a must. Validation is a must stuff. So how to do the validation is, we have simply have to write here. Var equal data. So write lupdates, this one. So to this one, lupdates, Control C to copy, Control V to paste here. So write here, if elapse greater than 0, if it is greater than 0, we have to write here is var, we have to create a variable fine equal elapsed multiply by 100, right? If you not to hand over the book on time, each day I include 100 to 100. Okay, fine. Okay, so you have to fine should be we have to calculate it display on the fine text box. So you have to write fine dot val. So we have to write here is fine dot toString. toString. The same thing, Control C to copy, Control V to paste here. So we have to write 0, otherwise fine should be 0, right? This is the thing we have to write. Now let's check. Member ID, if I select the member ID 1, here the lupdate is not display. Here what is lupdate, we have to do the things here. Lupdate, you have to write lupdate text box. Yes, lupdate text box, right, say lup, right? So you have to do the thing is here lupdate, you have to write lupdate, right? You have to write here the lupdate text box, right? So getting the lupdate here. If the right, now here we have to throw the lupdates as well. The same thing, Control C to copy, Control V to paste here. This one should be not toString. Here, right? This day elapse. Control C to copy, Control V to paste here. This one should be the elap. This elapse, right. If there is a days available, how many days is calculated and display here? Elap days, right? Otherwise, elap day also you have to make this one as a 0. If you hand over the book on time, elap day is also 0, right? You have to make it like this. Okay, all the stuff coming successfully, right? If you hand over the book on time, elap days also 0 and fine also 0. If you are not hand over the book on time, each day it's calculated. How many elapsed days also and fine also calculate and display here, right? This is simple validation part you have to do, right? Very simple one. You must try on this one, right? So after that, what I am going to do is here, I am going to go to save that. After done this stuff, I am going to save the record into the database, right? So this is the things we have. This is a table I am going to save, right? So what I am going to do is here, I am going to go to the return control.css. So here we have here what I am going to say. I am going to create another things, right? Now here I am going to save the action. The action is the same thing. Control C to copy, Control V to paste here. This one I am going to change this one as a save. Going to save method. This is the save method. I am going to save it. Save method. Here we have this one should be we have to write as a method. I am going to write this one as a this one also. You have to write the same thing. Issue book controller post method. Control C to copy. Back return control. You have to write a post method here. Right. It's a post method. You have to write. After that, you have to write here is save method. You have to write the same thing. The same thing. Issue book control out save the record the simple code, right? You have to copy this one. Control C to copy. Back to my here. You have to paste it. Simple code, right? Now here we have to write the save method. We have a this one. We have to write here is we have to load the these things, right? Return book. So here in this table you are going to save the record. So you have to write return book. Return book. You have to write the name return book. You have to write return book. You have to write return book. You have to write the you have to R return. Returns, right? You have to write right. Okay, what is the problem? Action result. So we have the same thing. You have to copy. Control X to cut off this one. You have made it here. Right. Okay, the problem returns. So returns. I am going to. This is the table. I am going to get all the all the tables values are loaded and put into this object returns. Now here we have the same object. Control C to copy. We have to load it here. Right. That's the only thing you have to do. Here also we have to change the table name. It's returns. It's a return books, right? That's the thing, right? Okay, this return Control C to copy, Control V to paste. This is the only thing here, right? This is only simple code. This code I have already explained in my issue book controller. The same code I have copy and paste it here. I just change the table name and table object, and here also I change the things. Very simple one, right? So very simple to save the record, right? Make sure your form names, the form input values, input box values are same name. Here also the same name you have to check. Okay, we have to double check on this one. If it is correct, the record should be, sorry, not this, return books, right? If it is correct, the record is added into the database, right? Now let's check whether it's working fine or not, right? Now let's click here. Go here, we have to check. Home controller, we have to check. Return book. Click on this one, return book. Member ID, right? Relevant details should be displayed successfully. Now if you click save, it's saved. Go to the return book table. It saves successfully. It's working perfectly. It's working well, right? Now I hope you guys understood these things well. Now let's do the modification. Here this one we have to application name, we have to change this one as a library management system. Here we no need login and registration, we no need it, it's a simple system. So what I am going to say, go to the shared preference, sorry, shared folder, shared layout. Here we have to remove them, this one we no need it, right, the login, these things we have to remove it. After that we have to remove, we have to application name, we have to change this one as a library management system, library management system, right, that's it. Now let's run the project and check. It's working perfectly, it's working perfectly. Now we have to change this one, the user interface we have to change. So we have to go to the layout, here layout, we have to the home controller, this intersection method, this is the thing. So we have to, this one you have to remove it. So all stuff you have to remove it. Here we have to write the same thing, you have to, this one should be the library management system, you have to write library management system, you have to write library management system, you have to write like this. So that's it. Now when you run the project and check, but if you write the project, run the project, you have to write like this. Here all things are same. Category, if you go to the category, so category part, author part, publisher part, member part, book part, this one should be the issue book part, this is a return book part, all the fields are available successfully. The very simple system I made in library management in ASP.NET MVC. You must try this project. While doing the project, if you get any problem, you can contact me anytime. Thank you for watching. If you like my channel, please subscribe me, like me. Thank you for watching.